Hey YouTube, Saturday, new guitar day, the NGD. This is, you've heard of, well I go through quite a lot of Chenders, for example, Chender Telecaster. So this is a Charvel, yeah, so it was available with the logo on the headstock, but I opted not to get it. In fact, yep, and I put a Charvel pickup in it from my parts box. The eagle-eyed amongst you will realise that was in my baby metal guitar, but it had to go in this really. So this is brand spanking new, straight from, imported by my girlfriend from China. It was very nice to do that for me. So not a lot to go on hardware. We've got a Charvel pickup and a volume control. That's it. Hardtail bridge. It's through strung. It should be. There's not exactly a big cavity cover at the back. The neck is amazing, as a lot of these Chinese ones seem to be. It's just maple. It's a separate fingerboard. It's a slab board they call it. Black tuners. So I've actually got a new amp, which you can't see, which is down there. A wee amp, which I'm really loving. I will do a review of that shortly. But for now, I'm still using my big Softtech. The new amp isn't obviously as amazing as the Softtech, but at the volume we're playing at just now, it's actually better. Which is like, whereas this is obviously a 60 watt thing that can do gigs. Sounds amazing when you've got it in full power. I've got it running on 20 watt mode. So I'm using the rat pedal as usual. Yeah, so as with all these things, these Chenders or arvel, so it's not actually a Charvel, made in China, probably made this year, so there's no serial numbers or anything like that on it, but it's really good. This pickup is very much your sort of Randy Rhodesy soundy pickup to my ears anyway. You know, it loves the distortion. It's for screeching metal, 80s metal. So as well, these things, I suppose I import them, or I just buy them from abroad. It doesn't play immediately out the box. It actually didn't play that badly. There's normally something you have to do with them, and this one you had to tighten up the tuners, but that was pretty easy. There was an earth fault, and see the main problem with that was the wire was there, it was all wired up fine. See, this bridge is painted black. Well, that black paint's acting as an insulator, so the wire that comes out from the back of the control cavity onto the back of the bridge was there and set in perfectly, but they hadn't. If you ever look in the back of these things, there's always a bit where they scrape off the paint so that the earth wire could contact with the metal. I hadn't done that, so it didn't work. So just if you know what these things are, it's pretty easy to fix. All I did was basically just scrape, kind of round about behind about there on the back. I just scraped off the paint and then put the bridge back on again. Bingo, sorted. No longer get issues with noise. Also, the strings you get on these are absolutely awful. This has got rotos on it now. I just told my girlfriend to just cut the old strings off, stick them in the bin, for taking the neck off, for bringing it in our suitcase. So I suppose I'm just going to sell this. I've been really getting into my one pickup guitars recently. It's amazing having one pickup. I was toying with the idea of putting like a coil split on the volume pot, or maybe one you can pull up the button and it turns the volume, it puts the volume at full and it turns it into a tone control. But I never use tone control, so I think if you're going for you're not really wanting lots of sounds if you're going for a guitar like this. So I played this video again. I actually got some complaints from one of my other, my fake Fender, not fake Fender, you know what I mean, the Chinese Telecaster, because I'd said it was good. It is good, it's a good guitar. A couple of weeks ago, if you look at my videos, I had a Mexican Fender Strat which I bought for my pal, and to be totally honest, this is good. There you go, said it. It's not, and it was like, you know, it was like £400 guitar. You wouldn't notice the hardware's not as good in this. The tuners are fine, they work great. They're not branded or anything like that, and but as I say, it's through strung. Bridge is, maybe doesn't look anything. It's really just a bent bit of metal with 6 saddles on it, but does it really need to be any more than that? I changed the knob as well. It had a Strat knob on it, which I didn't like. I preferred the metal knob. Not really much else to do with it. I suppose I'll make some noise with it. Fantastic necks. When you see the glossy maple necks, really are. I so much prefer gloss necks than the sort of satin feel which you often get. You generally only get it in cheap guitars, I think, but it just doesn't. It's not as good. This doesn't feel cheap. At all. It's not. It's solid wood as well, because I had to route it a wee bit to get this pickup in, because it was a bit bigger than the one that came in it. The one that came in it is well, it's white, so, and it was a wee bit rounder. This is a wee bit squarer, so I had to enlarge it a wee bit to take it. If I'm being super critical, I didn't take the strings off enough, and I've actually put 2 scratches, which I doubt very much I'll be able to show them up on this. They're not bad. They're just very light scratches, and the surface has never shown up, is it? Like a scratch where I took the pickup out and I ran it across the top, and I bet you would polish out if you took the strings off. Yeah, so noise, and then look at that. 7 minutes already. Wow. That was a rat pedal. We'll go for the governor pedal. Tube Screamer, Zach Wild pedal. The most metal, the micro metal muff, my most metal pedal. Very light guitar. That's I'd not say very light. Lighter than average, I would have said. I'm not sure whether that would be. Pickups are probably heavier than wood, so if you've got like 2 pickups in it, it probably adds more than if it was you don't put two pickups in it. it did come pretty well intonated, set up. I didn't, you know, it's like I checked it. And it's like, it's fine, which is nice. They don't just give you the bits. You know, it was assembled. They just on this one they'd missed out the scraping off the back of the bridge to take the thingy, and really, and I upgraded the pickup. Not that there was anything wrong with the previous pickup. It was all right. It wasn't quite as Randy Rhodesy, which I'm saying again. Like this, we can all argue about that. But so, Rockadoodle guitar. Yeah, I would maybe consider putting another string tree on there, just because it's got one for the B and E strings, but not one for the G. Not that I've noticed it make any difference. It just kind of, to me, it looks like it should have two. And I'm not sure. I don't actually have a Strat lying about to know whether the Strats come with two. Anyway, they're about £1 from China. Yeah, so I think I'm kind of don't want to sell this again. It always happens to me. I think it was very clever though. What she did was brought me this one, and this one, which you may recognise from previous videos, which is the one I brought back from China myself, and went, oh, and I just could sell it because it's that good. Well, this isn't the one I brought back from China that's that good. It's exactly the same, and the consistency between them is amazing. Here's mine here. It's like, yay! It's exactly the same. Mine's actually, this one's still got the Fender logos on it, so I'm not really that keen on selling it. I don't like the idea of ripping folk off. But I mean, the consistency is amazing. There's basically, it's not like one's good and the next one isn't. They're pretty much identical. So I don't know where the quality control's either really good or I'm just really lucky. Rock and roll!